The key point there is you've got to enjoy what you do every day. And for me, that's working with very smart people. It's working on new problems. Every time we think, hey, we've had a little bit of success, we're pretty careful not to dwell on it too much because the bar gets raised. Well, I love my work. The work of the foundation is super interesting. I get to meet with scientists. I get to go out in the field. I do think your habits are sort of set in your 20s and 30s. And by my standards of the 20s, I didn't believe in weekends back then, not to mention vacations. So I'm, fairly lazy compared to myself in my 20s, where I was a true fanatic. All I believed in was working on software night and day. And for my 20s, that was perfect. I didn't have a wife or family at all. And my role was very hands-on role. I'm very lucky that my foundation work, the part-time work I do for Microsoft, I see that extending, for decades into the future. And having an understanding of innovation, I think shaping innovation in many of these areas, there is a unique role that I can help play.
I think the ability that has helped me in lots of things is a kind of measurement, scientific framework where I go in and say, anybody handle this well? What are the very best practices? Do we have numbers on that? And let's get everybody measuring what they're doing, and so they can strive to match what the best achievement is. For us, often that's something like getting the vaccines out to all the children. Some very poor countries do that extremely well because they get down to that local level and measure the activity. They make sure the inventory's there, they make sure the workers are showing up. So for me, I always look at how can we do better measurement and use that to drive the very best practices.
In line with the promise of this age, I want to exhort each of the graduates here to take on an issue, a complex problem, a deep inequity, and become a specialist on it. If you make it the focus of your career, that would be phenomenal. But you don't have to do that to make an impact. For a few hours every week, you can use the growing power of the internet to get informed, find others with the same interests, see the barriers, and find ways to cut through them. Don't let complexity stop you. Be activists. Take on big inequities. I feel sure it will be one of the great experiences of your lives.
I'm a weird dropout because I take college courses all the time. I love learning company courses and things, so I loved being a student. And there were smart people around, and they fed you, and they gave you these nice grades that made you feel smart. So I feel it was unfortunate that I didn't get to stay there. But I don't think I missed any knowledge because whatever I needed to learn, I was still in a learning mode. Well, this idea of reading in general, if you can do that, then you can create an agent that helps a student like a one-on-one tutor would. There's nothing that matches a great one-on-one tutor teaching something. That's always the gold standard that all other teaching methodologies are compared to. If you want to learn computer science, just, Knuth wrote the book, buy it, okay? Read it and do the prompts if you really think you know this thing. If you want to learn physics, Feynman wrote the book. Just read the damn book. It's all there. Well, I wish more people could actually get to these countries, join the Peace Corps, spend time, even just spending a few weeks there and see how great the needs are and see the progress. A lot of, volunteer work in the United States builds that sense of, okay, we care about other humans, even, beyond our own family group, even people who have very different experiences. So at a young age, a little bit of giving money away, to form that habit and picking which things you really want to give to, including lots of things here in the US, and getting involved with volunteer time. Those are the people who I think will help kind of bring the world together and avoid just this divisiveness that is my greatest concern.